Quick update. I'm going to start posting my videos in the early hours on the day following so that I can have enough time for editing, for all that jazz, for all the fun things that go along with creating videos and content and whatnot. But just to let you know, they will still be filmed on the day of when they're posted. What's up, Internet? This is Brian from Me and OpDesign. We're going to be talking about time management out here. Let's go. When you think about how much time you spend on a particular activity throughout the day, the first one that should pop up, the most significant one, is likely going to be sleep at 8 hours of your day. The next one is more than likely going to be work at another 8 hours during the day. But then you're thinking, wait, Ryan, I have like a 30-minute to an hour lunch. Well, we'll be a little bit conservative. We'll give you a 30-minute lunch, but we'll also give you an hour for the other times you're eating during the day. Don't forget that you eat cereal for breakfast, and you also have a nice big lunch over a bowl of Netflix. So we're going to just toss in an hour and a half. The next one we're going to look at is traveling and commuting. I don't know about your personal commute time, but my commute time, 40 minutes to work every single day. And on the worst days, it takes about an hour. But we'll go ahead and consider the best days, and then we'll toss in a little bit of extra time for that time we're going in between grocery stores, for the time we're in between going to different places, coffee shops, whatever you have going on in your life. We're going to toss in a little bit extra time for just those things. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about cleaning and maintenance of your house, your home, wherever you live. Yes, you do have to do some sort of cleaning. Please clean. If I'm going to attribute an hour to all of that. And after all of those deductions, you've already used 20 and a half hours of your day, or at least my day. So that leaves 3.5 hours of what we can call free time or unallocated time that needs to be budgeted somehow. Now, it doesn't need to be budgeted. You could just, scroll through cat videos and enjoy YouTube like I do. Or you can do like I'd prefer to do and actually have a couple of additional categories that comprise of that full-on free time. So one of those is going to be things like what we're doing right now, which is a personal project or personal goal that I have set for myself, which is a daily vlog. So I'll spend some time. But the first thing we're going to think about whenever we're considering free time is going to be health and fitness. So we'll toss on a little 0.75 hours for that. Then we also have projects that are for me and projects for other people. So we're just going to attribute all of that into projects. And what I mean by projects for me, they're projects that I would prefer to work on, such as the cat fountain or the scratching boards. And there are projects that I should do or for other people, like the dryer needs to be piped out. I need to duct up the dryer so we can get the hot air out of the basement. Things like that, we can attribute half an hour for those. Projects for other people, and then projects for myself. Another half hour just for that. Total of an hour on projects for somebody. Then you have your own personal goals. So one of my goals is to read significantly more. And for me, significantly more is anything that's not 0. But if I'm setting a time limit to it, I'd like to read for 30 minutes per day. We're just going to attribute half an hour for goals. And then you're thinking, wait, that still doesn't add up to 24 hours in the day. Where's the rest of that 1.75 hours? Well, that's going to comprise of all of the social stuff that you have going on in your life. All the things that are for basically just entertainment value, that are for regenerating and feeling good about how you spend your time during the day. So 1.75 hours just to scroll through Facebook if you'd like to. 1.7 hours just to watch YouTube videos or to binge watch. Well, you can get a good 3 shows. Now, you could also be thinking, wait, this is very structured, extremely structured, actually. So there's not really much wiggle room for anything else if you wanted to shove something like a vacation in there. Well, my response to that would be, with all of these categories, you really should be trying to get a healthy mix of everything in. And depending on what your activities are, it could be comprised of projects that you spend time working with other people that are also fun. So you could be mixing up these three categories: entertainment, projects, social, and sometimes work, depending on if you get paid for it. And the more you mix these, the more you'll see marked improvement in how well you can manage your time, as well as marked improvement of how much you enjoy your time. In addition to that, these are all just ideals. So you should really be focusing on trying to average to these instead of trying to hit them every single day. If I can read just 1 page per day and I'm working on other goals, that's fine. But if also I'm going to read 1 page on this day in order to be able to spend that half hour working on projects because I need an additional hour to finish up on whatever I got going on, then that's a whole nother aspect of it that needs to be considered. So focusing on some of these, let's take a project for example. If it's going to take me 2 hours to finish a project, but I'd like to knock it out in 1 day, well, I'll just sacrifice some of my entertainment time to be able to just finish the project, just knock it all out. So that's another way you can incorporate a healthy mix and somewhat average your time towards things that you feel are important. So in sound body, mind, spirit, feeling, all the things that are going on that are internal and external to my body, I can decide on what's important to me and how I'd prefer my time to be used, and then use my time in that fashion. And that's a much more effective way of time management than any other method. But overall, what you really should be taking away from this is that 24 hours always passes, regardless of what you're doing, regardless of what you decide to do, regardless of what you decide not to do. 24 hours is going to pass. There's this famous person who once said, 6 months is going to pass regardless of whether or not you're working towards something or not. Time does not stop for you. So you can either be working towards that six-pack or you can be working towards nothing. Either way, 6 months does not care. It's going to pass regardless. So just think of that as your mantra and just say time is going to pass, and I would rather it pass the right way with the right things in mind other than just tossing it out there and letting the fates decide, letting the advertisers decide, letting my boss decide, letting my family members decide what I spend my time on and what I enjoy out of life. That's not a way to live. A way to live is to enjoy what you enjoy, to do what you'd like to do, to spend your time where you'd like to spend it, regardless if other people think it's frivolous, regardless of other people understand why it's important to you. One example I have is that the new Spider-Man game came out. I got it for my birthday, which I love my wife for. So when that game came out, I automatically decided this was going to be the game that I actually finish. Because I have a problem with not finishing games, especially if I've played them before and finished them before. It's really difficult to finish games for me. So I decided this was going to be a game that I was going to finish. And not only did I finish it, I really enjoyed the whole process of playing it because I knew this was part of my goals right now. I'm sacrificing time from other things that could potentially be more lucrative to do exactly this because this is what life is about, doing what I prefer to be doing at the time in which I prefer to be doing it. So I hope you've gotten something out of this. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your engagement on these videos. If you have something that you're going to be spending more time on, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. I love hearing comments and I love seeing engagement. So if you liked the content of this video, feel free to hit that like button. If you did not like it at all, or you have a problem with it, just hit the dislike button and feel free to give me some feedback. I love feedback. Please, I'm an engineer. I enjoy feedback. Now, this has been Ryan from Mean Up Design. Hope you have a fantastic day. By now, it's going to be Wednesday, so make it great. Tuesday, November 6th. I hope you voted. I voted. It was a fantastic, wonderful experience. The last time I voted was in Houston, Texas, for the actual elections, and it was ridiculous. I waited 2 hours in line at a grocery store, which had fantastic food because I tried it for the first time. It was a fiesta, and they had amazing Mexican food. It was just wonderful. And the reason I know that they had amazing Mexican food is because it took 2 hours directly after work for me to vote. So, of course, I got a snack.